What is going on, guys? Today is a huge day. We may start the 240, but before we can do that, let's roll that intro. Before we get into the video itself, I just want to do a little question of the day. Do you know how to weld? Comment down below. Anyways, enough of that, we can jump into the video itself. So this was one of the last pieces that we were waiting on, is getting these guys welded on. We've got the bottom port there, that is for our air idle control valve, and the top one is for our intake air temperature sensor. So now that is good. And I also got the blow-off valve welded there. I had to put it on this side because there's just not enough room on the other side. And I don't know if it's going to be going straight up like that because this pipe is totally straight, so I can rotate it any way I want. I can have it like that. I could have it on this side, on that side, on top. Doesn't really matter to me. But I just wanted to get that done out of the way in one shot, so now we don't need any more aluminum welding. Also, I did the ghetto like bead roll thing with like some crimpers. Apparently it'll be fine, and I'm not going to be pushing that much boost, so I'm not worried about that. But if you do have a legit bead roller or even a TIG welder and then just, you know, run a bead the whole way around, that's better than this, but this will be fine for what we're doing. Also, you may notice that we have a wideband now. I did a whole video on installing the wideband and the intake air temp sensor and wiring them in, and I lost the footage, so that's unfortunate, but we do have a wideband. It's already wired into the ECU, ready to go, as well as the intake air temp sensor, so we just have to install these pipes, put the couplers back on, and then we are good to go. So it's been a few days since I last picked up the camera because we were waiting on, I had to get in touch with Martin, and then I had to get a few things, and then we could get her going, and today, hopefully, we get it going. So the main thing that we needed is this guy. This is our blow-off valve. This thing is actually like really nice, and it has like a good weight to it. Like it weighs more than a phone. I mean, I don't know if it looks heavy or not, but it's good. It's nice. It's not a rep HKS. It's a genuine HKS. Even the things came in like there's Japanese writing and stuff on it. It's legit. Look at that. No rep parts on this build, apart from, you know, the few rep parts that we actually do have. But yeah, like this thing is like pretty fucking sweet. I went with this over tile because I think this sounds better than tile, and that's the only reason. Literally, that's the only reason, is the sound. All I wanted was the sound. I'm not, like, I don't know the difference between them as far as which one lets more air out, so which one can help prevent compressor surge better. I don't know, and I don't care. This one sounds cool, and that's why I got it. So we had to get that. We also had to get more vacuum line. And then we got this guy from Phase 2 Motor Trend. It's a heat shield. I don't think I'm going to be putting this on today or anytime soon, but essentially it goes right there. Literally like right where the wideband is. I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do to mount it because someone decided they wanted to Bondo the hole. So yeah, that's what we got going on. But yeah, this can wait. This isn't a big deal. I just wanted to get it out of the way, just to have it, so when I have the time, I can put it on. Also, I was wondering, what do you guys think? Put maybe like the reflective gold tape on it to help dissipate heat better? I'm not sure yet. Because I think the silver would be kind of out of place, but then again, so would fucking gold. Gold would be really out of place. I don't know yet. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it looks. So now all we're waiting for is to get in touch with the tuner, and then we can start hopefully getting this thing running. Well, while we're waiting, we can install the blow-off valve. Shouldn't be too bad, right? So what's going to make this super fun, I don't have snap ring pliers like that. So we're gonna have so much fun putting this on. So here's our flange. We're gonna take the little O-ring and we're just gonna set them in there, and then we take our beautiful blow-off valve and put it on top of it. And now for the really fun part, getting this fucking C-clip on there.
Meanwhile.
Okay, so I just got a message from Martin. He's been messing with that, so he just said to try and start the car, so here we go. So we got a little bit of bad news. For some reason, it's not picking up the cam angle sensor at all. Martin's saying that that's a wiring issue, so we're gonna have to dive into that. I never touched the cam angle sensor, so I don't think that any of the wiring that I did had anything to do with that. I didn't have to extend it or anything. So I guess we're going to pull the harness out, just unplug everything and get it to here so we got more room to work with, and then start taking the harness tape off, tracing the wires, see if anything is going on there. What's up, guys? It's the next day. I was up till like 2 in the morning last night trying to figure out what's going on, and I think I have a good idea on what it was. So unfortunately we're gonna have to take the entire engine harness out and unwrap most of it because I couldn't trace down one of the wires. But before we do that, I got a little surprise in the mail today. This guy showed up, and now I've got a cool turbo. So it literally took me 40 minutes. Yeah, 40 fucking minutes to put the harness in and have it tucked the way it is. So now we've got to take it all out, and then once we figure it out, we're gonna have to put it back in. So this is going to be a long process. So after a little more digging, I discovered what I believe is the issue. Right here, this guy, that is the wires coming off of our cam angle sensor up there. We've got these two green ones. Those are the 1 degree and 120 degree signals. This solid black one, that is our ground. This one is our power. This one goes to this relay. And for some reason this relay is not getting any power. So now I'm going to track down that wire and give power to it. I thought that it was one of these wires, and that's why I was giving power to both of these wires, but I guess it wasn't. So now I've got to figure out which one it was. Okay, so we've got the harness all plugged in. It's only plugged in like this because I don't want to tuck everything and then it not work and then have to take everything out again, and so everything is all exposed, but it is all plugged in. So now we will give her a crank and pray that that was the issue. Okay, so I'm not too sure what's going on. We've got power at the cast, we've got power at the coil packs, and power at the injectors, but for some reason it's not sending the signal to the injectors and the coil packs, which is weird because the wires are going back to the right pins on the ECU, so that should be fine. And then we have power everywhere, so that should be fine. So I honestly don't know what's going on here. Alright guys, so I've got some bad news. Unfortunately, I have no idea what the problem is. Everything on the harness seems like it's fine, but for some reason the cast isn't working, which makes me think that the cam angle sensor is the issue. They are very expensive, and they take a long time to get here from Japan, and that's the only place to get them unless you know someone who has one. So I'm praying that that is not the issue, and that somehow something else is causing this. I've been talking with Martin from RS Enthalpy, and we're trying to figure out what's going on here. Hopefully he gets back to me with a solution that is something other than replace the cast. And I wish the other news I had was good, but I can't get this fucking thing on. I don't have snap ring pliers, and I just cannot get this stupid little snap ring on. I get so close and then it just comes apart, and it frustrated me. So I'm just like, I don't even fucking care. The car's not gonna start anyways, so why do I need that on right now? We've got snap ring pliers on the way, so when they show up, and then we'll be able to put it on properly. It's so nice too. I really like this blow off out. Like, it looks fucking cool. They sound so good, but stupid fucking snap ring. Yeah, so that's where we are. It's unfortunate. I've been trying to start this bitch for the past couple weeks, and I thought we were gonna get it running this weekend, but project car life, right? So I don't know if I explained what's going on very well, so I'll go over it real quick. So here's our cam angle sensor right here. You spin it, you should hear clicking coming from the injectors and noises coming from the coil packs. I think there's supposed to be like a little slight buzz, like almost like a cell phone vibrating, something like that. I'm not hearing any of that, but we have power at the coil packs, power at the injectors, power at the cam angle sensor. And between these wires here, the wire on the far right, the green with the black stripe, that's one of the signal wires. That goes to pin 41 and 51 on the ECU. And the one next to it, the green with the yellow stripe, is the second signal wire, which goes to 42 and 52 on the ECU. When spinning the cast, you should get, I believe for the first one, it's like 0.5 volts at pin 41 and 51. I'm getting nothing. And then for the second one, I think it's supposed to be like 2.5 volts at pin 42 and 52, and I'm getting 0.6 volts. So it's got to be something with the cast. Like, I don't know what else it could be, because I've got continuity on the wires going back to the correct pins on the ECU plug. I have continuity on every single wire throughout the harness. Every wire is doing what it's supposed to do. It's going where it needs to. We shouldn't be having that issue, and you might be thinking, hey, it's probably a ground issue. Well, we've got the ground on the head. There's two there. I've also got a ground back here, as well as in the car right here. This is like temporary, like super ghetto. Like, I was just messing around trying to think like what ground would help, but on your RB harness, this plug here, this is all grounds. All of these wires going to this plug are grounds. So I spliced into here one of the wires going to this plug, and then it's this thick 10 gauge wire going to there, which is a good ground. I'm able to use that as a ground when I test for voltage on things, so I know that's a working ground and we're good there. I've also got a ground down there. You can hardly see it, that little silver screw. That little silver screw right there, that is also another ground. And I even, at one point, had it going directly to the negative terminal on the battery, which is the best ground you can get, and still nothing. So that makes me think that it's not a harness issue, because everything seems to be working there. Apart from, for some weird reason, this is one of the relays. With this one, it was giving me power to my injectors and my coil packs, and the relay was not activating for whatever reason, so I just jumped the... Those are the wrong wires. You gotta be shitting me. Alright, let's see if we hear clicking from the injectors. Essentially, I thought that I had this in the right spot, but I didn't. I had it in these two pins up here, which are the pins going, one's power and one's a signal from the ECU. And when the ECU gives the signal to it and it bridges the gap so power connects there, it then activates like it's kind of like a magnet, and it closes the contact on this side, which essentially does what this wire is doing. It just makes it a loop. So it's like touching two wires together pretty much. That's all a switch does. And that's all a relay does. And I had it in here instead of here, so I thought, oh, there's my problem. But nope, we can't get that lucky. So that's unfortunate. Still at a loss of what's going on. I had to do it to the other relay as well. That's the relay that was giving me power to my cam angle sensor. Yeah, I'm at a loss. I don't know what's going on here. Everything is wired correctly. All the wires go back to the correct plug in the ECU. Don't worry about this. This is something with the fuel pump. Skylines have like they've got their fuel pump setup is a little weird. It does different voltages to regulate the flow for it. It's a little weird. So we don't need that. Our fuel pump is hardwired. so that's not an issue for us. I mean, yeah, everything that needs power has power. So the only thing I can think of is, besides not knowing why the relays aren't clicking over, that could be the issue. I don't think the cam angle sensor has anything to do with that, although I could be wrong. Something has to be going on with the cam angle sensor. Like, I don't know what's the deal, but unfortunately that's where we are. And we can't really move forward with this until we know for sure that it is or is not the cam angle sensor. Alright guys, this has been something else. Not honestly, like, I'm tired of it right now. We'll pick this up as soon as we get more information. Once we get that, then hopefully we can go from there and get her going. Until then, there's honestly not a lot to do because the rest of the things that we need are, one, super expensive, so they're going to take a little bit for me to be able to purchase those. And then other things really aren't that important as of right now. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's not a big deal and a simple fix can happen. I honestly don't know. I'm exhausted with all the work that I've put into reading the entire service manual as far as wiring and everything, making sure everything goes where it needs to go. But alright, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you did. Comment down below. If you know anything about RBs and you have any information that could help, please comment down below. Like, I need all the help I can get. And then hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.